Yes. Yeah. So I'll talk on this subject for a few minutes. Recent advances in the treatment of congenital glaucoma. As we discussed, that primary options are many, of which trabeculotomy, ab externo, goniotomy, and combined trabeculotomy, trabeculectomy is important in Indian context. Now, the newer surgical techniques, which is now the state-of-the-art surgical option for congenital glaucoma in US and in developed countries, are where the opportunity permits to use the microcatheter, 360-degree trabeculotomy, fiber optic microcatheter assisted trabeculotomy. Endoscopic goniotomy was tried, but it's not very popular nowadays. Now, far more recent techniques is these two are very important. Ab interno trabeculectomy using a novel dual blade device devised by Kahuk, and gonioscopy assisted transluminal trabeculotomy, GAT classically known. And this was devised, and first publication came by Dr. Devender Grover. I saw his name as one of the invited speaker, international speaker. I'm sure he must have been talking on this subject in other forum also. Anyway, now recent advances in refractory pediatric glaucoma includes the implant, of which Barvelt and Ahmed is in use for several decades. Recently, Arvind Eye Institute developed, or I'll say, is popularizing an implant called Orolab aqueous drainage implant, ADI. Sirisa has talked to about this problem, about this implant. Now, other non-penetrating glaucoma surgery like visco, canulostomy, deep sclerectomy is not very popular because of the very important fact that in advanced stage of the glaucoma, non-penetrating surgery simply do not reduce the level of intraocular pressure reduction the way we want in moderate to advanced stage of the disease. Probably in the very mild form of the disease, these are suitable. Other newer techniques are trabectome, stent, and hydrous implant. Cycloablative procedure, we are now doing cyclophotocoagulation with diode laser, diode cyclophotocoagulation, cyclodiode we call, and endoscopic cyclophotocoagulation in cases where we are doing some vitreoretinal surgery and we are using or taking this opportunity to do ablation of few ciliary process to take care of the intraocular pressure in the long run. Let me just explain this GAT procedure. Sirisa is doing it, and Rasmi Krishnamurthy, another consultant of our institute, is doing it. I have a video for that technique borrowed from Rasmi. I'll present that. What is used under microscopic control under, I'll say, view of gonioprism, surgical gonioprism. The localized goniotomy is performed to expose the Schlemm's canal from inner aspect, that is from anterior chamber, and the microcatheter is introduced and is cannulated all 360 degree and is retrieved from the same wound created for original ab interno goniotomy, and then the two ends are cut and pulled so that internally 360 degree trabeculotomy is done. Surgically demanding. If 360 degree is not possible, maybe it will be required to retrieve or cut open the thing in 180 degree or 360 degree or 270 degree and do the procedure. This is a paper published in British Journal of Ophthalmology showing the technique. I am showing a video of technique, or the surgical technique I am describing here is described in Archives of Ophthalmology in the year 1995, nylon suture assisted trabeculotomy. You know, Nylon suture is used. Schlemm's canal is opened from external aspect. I have external technique. The tip of the 6-O-Prolene suture is made bulbous by using cautery, heat cautery, and that is used after the viscoelastic is injected into the Schlemm's canal either side. That is used to cannulate the Schlemm's canal all around and then retrieve from the original wound, and then it is pulled to do 360-degree trabeculotomy, suture trabeculotomy. Here is the technique seen. The video is downloaded from internet. Sarkisian is the surgeon. You can see elegant surgery, but probably very surgically very demanding. You'll have to really be very expert in dissecting the Schlemm's canal and deepening the anterior chamber by using viscoelastic, and then inserting the I-track microcatheter illuminated from into one side, and you can see the illumination blinking red light here, and it is possible, at least in some percentage of cases. I do not know how easy or how difficult it is, because to my mind, it is a very surgically demanding technique. Unless you are having illuminated microcatheter with Prolene suture, it is more difficult. Here it is done with illuminated microcatheter. You can see here it is going. The problem is Schlemm's canal is not just a circular tire-like thing. The trabeculae is there. There may be obstruction, but it is possible to retrieve. The microcatheter has passed 360-degree, retrieved from the same wound, and then anterior chamber is deepened so that during the pull, when 360-degree trabeculotomy is done, anterior chamber should not be shallow and it should not cause any incision to the iris. You can see how beautifully the trabeculotomy is extending to complete actually 360-degree of the circumference, total circumferential trabeculotomy, ab externo technique. The technique which described by Grover later on was ab interno trabeculotomy with the microcatheter, illuminated microcatheter. What I am now showing is a technique called ab interno trabeculectomy. What is done here is with a specially designed, very scientifically designed instrument called double blade goniotomy, trabeculectomy blade, actually ab interno use for ab interno use, and the two sides are cutting. Here is surface. It engages the trabecular meshwork in the center. Then it is engaged into the Schlemm's canal, and then the knife is, forward movement of the knife is done to really remove a significant area or segment of the trabecular meshwork is really stripped off or removed. And that's the reason it is not trabeculotomy, it is trabeculectomy, ab interno. Just watch the video carefully. Corneal entry wound is made with a clear incision. Viscoelastic, high viscosity viscoelastic is injected to deepen the chamber. A viscoelastic drop is put in the corneal surface, and with the help of gonioprism, the instrument here is introduced, crosses the pupil, engages into the 180-degree opposite trabecular meshwork, and you can see beautifully trabecular meshwork artist diagram, and this will be introduced into the Schlemm's canal so that the incision is done by the side blade, and a significant percentage of so-called trabecular meshwork, which used to be functional, not functioning because of goniodysgenesis, and you can see the aqueous humor is directly accessible to Schlemm's canal, and after that post-canalicular flow takes place by the natural system. So this is the surgical technique. Here is the surgical technique described, and let me present the video I borrowed from Dr. Rasmi Krishnamurthy, one of our consultants who is doing this surgery routinely, and Sirisa is also expert in that. Any question we can ask Dr. Sirisa to really answer. Just see the video carefully. You know, surgical gonioprism is really kept very steadily over the corneal surface. Paracentesis opening is made, antechamber is deepened, and then the Kohut double blade instrument is introduced and is really engaged into the trabecular meshwork, and then the movement is done, forward movement is done, so that a significant segment, trabecular meshwork, is really removed, or I'll say incised, and then the other side you can do this motion, or extending other side you can join the incision here. You can see the trabecular meshwork is incised, or I'll say removed, and that is removed with the help of a micro forceps. Utratas forceps is used to remove the trabecular meshwork. You can see this trabecular meshwork, and this segment approximately 3 to 4 clock hour of the trabecular meshwork is removed directly, so that aqueous have access to the Slem's canal, and then the post-canalicular flow or the drainage takes place. These are elegant technique getting popularized, particularly the ab interno technique of GAT technique. Kohut's double blade is also becoming popular with time, and probably of all these techniques, 360-degree suture microcatheter related assisted trabeculotomy with the help of illuminated microcatheter is the most popular technique. But the problem in our country is, even when very advanced stage of glaucoma, corneal clarity permits to do ab interno technique in Caucasian or European patient population. Compared to that, a significant percentage of patients we see, probably 70 to 80% of the patients we see in India will present like this, in addition to advanced megalocornea, advanced corneal edema, in which ab interno technique is just not possible. Ab externo probably suture trabeculotomy is still possible, but ab interno technique is not possible. And that's the reason sort of the technique which we described in the recent advances, primary combined trabeculotomy, trabeculectomy is important. And you can see how beautifully the Slem's canal can be exposed under a partial thickness scleral flap. I'm presenting this video just to show how beautifully the Slem's canal can be opened from external aspect under a partial thickness triangular scleral flap. The person who is expert in GAT procedure on Kohut's double blade will say the same thing, how beautifully the things can be done, external, internal trabeculotomy, internal trabeculectomy, or ab interno, GAT procedure. This is just to show the Slem's canal opening and deroofing of the Slem's canal. Now, this deroofing is just to show the anatomy of the Slem's canal, nothing else. What we are doing here, if the internal wall of the trabecular meshwork or the Slem's canal is removed, that is nothing but ab interno Kohut blade assisted trabeculectomy, ab interno trabeculectomy. So the problem is, in a given case, even when we made an attempt to make sure that the aqueous has access to the Slem's canal in advanced stage of the disease or in advanced stage of the developmental anomaly, how is the post-canalicular outflow system developed? We have no idea. There is no way we can really assess clinically. And that's the reason combined trabeculotomy has an advantage over the technique. Just to show you the same technique, we are exceeding time probably. Just for the sake of showing the surgical technique once again, I'm presenting this. We are all right because our guest speaker is probably not available and time is up, and I'm still presenting this video because anyway there is nothing. We had time up to 2:25. I'm just forwarding the thing just to show how beautifully this Schlemm's canal can be identified. The most important step of trabeculotomy technique is central radial incision is gradually deepened across the scleral spur to really incise the superficial wall of the Schlemm's canal, and then the surgical technique of trabeculotomy on either side. Probably the most important and the most demanding surgical step is exploration of the Schlemm's canal, and that's the reason I am showing this video once again. You can see how beautifully it is going to the Schlemm's canal and is going. I am showing the trabeculectomy part and then the closure of the incision. I'll conclude here, and I'll invite, this is the child on which the technique was performed, and I just close my presentation, and any other issues or questions from any attendees.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you so much, Dr.